What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Mondo and the Goon. I am Juan, aka the Retro Goon. I'm joined, as always, by CJ, aka Mondo Gecko. What's going on, Caleb, in the chat? Thanks for coming through, saying
Party
what's up.
time indeed.
What's going on?
Not too much. Cannot tell you how excited I am about today's episode.
Oh, me too. We're looking forward to
know,
it all week.
This is the part of the Ghostbusters legacy I get to be a part of.
Yeah.
That nobody will know about ever.
Oh man. Yeah.
Legacy I get to be a part of.
We're gonna have so much stuff to definitely cover. A lot of interesting things that we saw in the movie, and again, if you haven't read the post, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review discussion of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and yeah, so just please be advised if you haven't seen it. Don't watch. But if you don't care, make sure to watch.
I definitely don't want to see people in the comments like, "Oh, I can't believe you told us this."
You son of a bitch! Yeah. Oh man, that's great. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the people who are just joining us on a late Saturday night. We appreciate you. So yeah, let's talk about this movie. It's been what 20 years, 30 years in the making.
30 years.
30 years is a hell of a long time. Original Ghostbusters came out in 1984, year of my birth.
84. Yep.
And now as a 37-year-old man, I get to finally watch what the next step of that whole legacy is.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm with how recognized that franchise is. I'm surprised it's taken this long to get another chapter. They always talked about how it had never happened, and then they came out with the video game. They're like, this is basically gonna be the next chapter, and that's pretty much it. It's hard to see a franchise like that die. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
They're business people. That's money. You just can't leave money on the ground like that. Right. That's crazy.
There's a lot of money left on the table.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. But yeah, again, shocked that it's taken this long to get it. Although I'm happy for the wait. We got a do-over from the last Ghostbusters thing, so that's cool.
Right, and maybe one day we'll do a kind of a deep dive as to what happened in those 30 years, why this film never got made, the original intentions, the original casting that they had for this series. But I'm glad we finally got to get something.
Right. And, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad they took their time, to make a proper film. And speaking to Caleb's point, I'm glad that they waited to release it in the theaters.
Oh, yeah. It just wouldn't have been the same. Like, although I have appreciated the, at home, like, preview or, like, premieres and stuff. But none of those are movies that I was, like, want to see in theaters anyway,
Right.
So.
Right. Oh, all right. So let's get into it, right? So Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Let's hear what you have to say. Let's take it
piece
by piece here.
I guess we'll start in the beginning, right? You end up with the Spengler family, which they throughout most of the film, you never know their last name. You know who they are. It's kind of like an open secret, but they never kind of claim it. Well, especially the daughter.
But they really made it a point to make the daughter look very similar to Spengler, though.
Super
like
similar.
Yeah.
They get evicted from their home right after Egon dies, and you kind of see him running through the field, right? Just right in the beginning of the trailer, you see it, and then you actually see how he goes and ends up passing away, which again was like, it hurt to see, right? Like, damn, they hit you really hard early on.
You wanted to know how that was going to happen. Like, how are they going to explain why he's not around, or what? And they kind of showed you him, but I read something that Reitman actually stood in for him. He was Egon in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the lighting was like practical effects. Like I'm not that movie guy that's like, oh yeah, the practical effects were just incredible. It was stellar. The lighting. No, I'm not that guy. Um, but I really enjoyed how they did that whole scene. Like it looked like what Egon would look like in my mind had he been almost 70 or whatever years old.
You know,
It
like
looked
he'd
good.
been hitting those. It looked like he'd been hitting those crunch bars and those Twinkies kind of hard, though. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So we see him get into the farm, and then, much like what happens to Dana, the arms through the chair and kind of gets taken away. And you cut to the family, and they're getting evicted, so they have to move into this dilapidated old house. And that's where we get our first cameo. We get Janine,
Yep.
and I'm not gonna front it. It was nice to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Can confirm that that's definitely not uh, Egon's, the person Egon had babies with, right? Like, oh,
Right.
in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's probably like, the mother or whatever, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. Can confirm that. And that's when it was just like, oh, this sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sad he's gone now. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the
But you don't know
original,
the relationship
okay,
that those two had, because
right,
she was basically there on a daily basis helping him.
right.
So I mean, you don't know. I like to think that they had like they had a romance for sure.
Oh, for sure. And then just to me, the whole movie built up to a really good end. Like those last 15 minutes or so, like that whole movie to me was just so paced well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we talked about, you know, Egon becoming a ghost and inhabiting the house and giving clues to the family, and we were pretty spot
Yeah.
on that. Becoming a ghost and the just you can already see the relationship. He knew like Phoebe was a genius. He gave her all the clues and played chess with her, and
Mm-hmm.
she knew something was up.
That tugged at my heartstrings so hard, man.
Yeah.
You know, to see like the chessboard or the chess pieces move, and you're like, oh, it's Spengler. That's rad.
Right. Like he's playing chess with his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And, she discovers the PK machine, the PK meter.
Mm-hmm.
And you already know once that thing was going off, I'm like, that's Egon. I'm looking at my like, that's sensing Egon, like for sure. He's there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that it was cool. I like how they built it up. And new kids in town, and I thought it had some really great funny bits in it.
Yeah, it rolled really well. There was no part of the movie I felt like was dragged on at all. Like everything flowed really well. It was hilarious. It was sad. Like it was everything I'd hoped it'd be in a Ghostbusters movie. It was for the first time in a long time. I haven't been let down with like a sequel or something
Right.
I wanted to see.
Right. And for me, it was nostalgic enough where like it wasn't like overly pandering.
Yeah.
But it was well enough where like new kids could kind of enjoy it, and us old fools could be like, huh, that's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
You see the strainer that they used on Rick Moranis's head. And let's talk about let's talk about when Phoebe finds his workshop, and then the way to get down there is sliding down the pole.
Yeah,
it's like,
how cool was that?
It brought me back to like Ray went down fine, Peter went down fine, and Egon was just super terrified in the first movie going down the pole. So it was just kind of funny that he had one there because he always looked scared to death going down it.
Like him, he took things basically from what you would find at the old firehouse to make it feel more like home for him.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get more into that as we roll along.
And him having that fire or the fire pole just took me back to the scene from the original one where, they're checking out the firehouse for the first time, and Bill Murray and Spengler are trying to like kind of kind of say everything that's wrong with the place so that the way they get a bigger deal. And then here comes Dan Aykroyd's ass coming down the pole, and he's like, "This is great.
It's great. Can we stay here
We
tonight?
should stay here tonight."
That's exactly what it reminded me of too. Like,
Yeah.
I was cracking up. And then you see Phoebe kind of going through belongings. You find the fungus and the mold,
Yes.
So I'm walking through there now, like, and I'm in the theater, I'm like tearing up. I'm like, oh, this sucks. And then she goes to the suits. Yeah. And then what does she pull out the suit? A fucking Crunch Bar. And you're like, good Lord.
In the jacket pocket. Yeah, it's so great.
That was rough. And then she finally starts working on the proton pack, and she kind of knew what was wrong, but it was really sweet to see Ghost Egon kind of trying to help her out in fixing the proton pack. Just a real sweet scene. And the son's name what was his name? Trevor. As Phoebe was the brains, you had Trevor, who was, not a dumb kid at all. He was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And he was fixing up the old Ecto-1. Now this was the Ecto-1 from the first movie, correct?
Yeah. It was the one for the first two.
Right, but the one in part 2 had the 2 symbol on it on the ghost.
Yeah, that was just decal they put on for.
Right, so that's what people were saying, like, oh, it's 2 canon. No, it was confirmed. Ghostbusters 2 is canon. Like, that's canon. So you see him fixing it, and then he opens up the glove box, and a Twinkie falls out of it, and you're like,
yeah, that was great.
Fucking guy, like, I was like, you're just doing all these little subtle things. It was so good, right?
Yeah, they had all those little nods, even like like you said, the chair that with like all the dog claws that like pulled Egon, that threw back to the first one. Like that was so cool.
What do you think of Paul Rudd?
I thought he was perfect. I have a man crush on Paul Rudd. Like Paul Rudd could do no wrong. And he kind of has that quirkiness that Rick Moranis has as well.
Yeah.
So to
me, he didn't overpower the movie at all.
No, I think he was a good addition to the franchise. I would like to see him become a full-time Ghostbuster. That'd be cool.
100%. 100%.
He filled that role so well.
Hold on one second. The maid sign on the locker that had the suits was from the opening scene of the first one. Yeah. Yep. And yeah, Caleb, he is. Paul Rudd was awesome. He was so funny. He also fucks everything up, but he's so
perfect,
funny.
Man. He's like perfect. He's a smart ass, like very much like Bill Murray is, but also can be very sweet like Egon. Like he would be a great addition for a full-time member. I think
so too. I think that he'll fit right in for sure, and I hope we don't see the last of him. But yeah, the movie rolls along, and Phoebe just keeps discovering things, and she ends up bringing the ghost trap to school. And Paula's like, "Oh, you have this? Like, is this a replica?" And the kids have no idea like
what the Ghostbusters are.
Or what the Manhattan Cross Rip was. Like, none of this. You would think they would teach this in school, right? Like, it was such a crazy event, but 30 years is a long time. I guess people just forgot or whatever. But either way, it was still it was funny to see them like pull up YouTube videos, and that got me too. Like, she's learning about her grandpa, and I'm like, this is messing me up.
Yeah, but you could see, but by her doing that, she started like they didn't seem to really have respect for their grandfather because they didn't know him. All they know is that he left her mom, and she's slowly discovering new things about her grandfather that put him in a positive light and uncover why he did what he did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was cool. Like, because you didn't want the kids hating him. That I hated the fact that they maybe resented their grandfather a bit, or his daughter resented him. because we as the audience, we were like, no, Spengler's like the best dude ever, you know. So
yeah, he's a good guy. And then, you know, in I guess Ghostbusters tradition, you know, they're chasing what was his name? The
the what?
new ghost that was spitting out the metal.
Muncher.
Muncher. They were chasing Muncher, and then when they pulled out that gunner, gunner seat, I was like, this is rad, dude. Like, holy crap, this is rad.
Yeah, it was super tight. I will say right now that, like, I'm shocked that we didn't get a Slimer cameo at some point, you know?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, we did see ghosts in there, like the tip of the hat to the real Ghostbusters we talked about from the cartoon, from the toy line. It was the guy with the eyeball in his forehead.
Yep.
You know, that was tight. That was cool to see.
That was definitely cool to see. Podcast was great too. That kid was funny as hell. Like,
yeah,
I thought he was gonna annoy me for some reason, but no, he was great too. Like, I mean, it was an adorable film between kids, because at the end of the day, they're kids, right? Like,
they definitely, you could tell they took their time on casting. Yeah. They didn't rush the script. Like, it was well taken care of.
Right.
It was, it felt like the casting was great. We didn't know half those guys. I didn't know half those kids, but
same.
I knew the kid from Stranger Things, and that was pretty much it, But
yeah, that's as far as my knowledge went as well.
But he's great. I thought they all did great.
He definitely added to the whole dynamic.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, in Ghostbusters tradition, they all get arrested, go to jail.
It's pretty awesome, huh?
That was great. And then I remember in Ghostbusters 1 where they're talking about the cross rip, and all the presidents are like coming in and starting to listen. Kind of same thing happens to them, where they're discussing the earthquakes and the seismic events. I thought that was a nice little nod as well. You know what part was badass? When they were talking trash, and Phoebe turns on the wand to the cop. I was like, what are you doing? This is wild.
It's like, who are you? A bit of a badass there.
Yeah. I will tell you, man, I think the first scene that got me teary-eyed is when her only phone call wasn't even to her parents. It was to talk to Ray. And
pretty awesome.
You get a picture of what kind of went on during that time. What do you think of the scene?
When Ray picks up the phone?
Yeah.
I thought they couldn't have picked a better person for her to call.
Yeah.
And, when she was watching all those YouTube videos that you mentioned earlier, discovering things about her grandfather, that old Ghostbusters commercial came on, and it was the same number as Ray's Occult, his bookstore. So, like, and you saw her write it down, and you're like, oh, man, she's gonna call that eventually.
Right.
And I was like, oh, what a better time to be like, and then to end it, be like, yeah, that's my grandfather. And then click.
He's like, oh, shit. To me, it was like, can you tell me about Egon Spengler? He's like, he could go to hell, like all this stuff. And she's like, he's dead. And he's like you just, I'm not saying he's like the greatest
actor. It flips. It
just changed. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart because they didn't speak in 10 years.
Yeah.
And in my mind, like, getting aside from the movie, like, sometimes we hold like these stupid petty feelings for people, and then we never kind of just sort that shit out. And then fast forward years later, they might not be a time we get to sort that shit out. And to me, that's what I felt Ray was conveying, because no one wanted to believe Egon. He said, nah, something's coming, this is where it's coming, and no one wanted to believe him.
Sure.
And
that touches home a lot of things with me, man. Just the I'm quick to dismiss people sometimes in my life, and maybe I shouldn't, and things can be cleared up, no problem, or whatever. And no, that definitely hit home. It's like, fuck, because we always think there's going to be more time. We're like, there'll be time, maybe next year. Or
the crazy part is like Janine knew where Egon was.
Sure.
Winston, right, by proxy, should have known where Egon was. Why didn't the guys know? Why didn't Ray or Peter know? Why didn't no one go to check in on him? They were so mad because he just left one day.
Sure. I don't know that Peter was actually ever mad. I think he was just he carried on his life. He gained a new life. He was a professor, and he just carried on with his own life.
Yeah.
I think the only person who was truly mad was Dan, the Ray. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because he was one of the founding members.
Yeah. It was weird because you hear about the relationship with Harold Ramis and Bill Murray after so many years where they didn't speak, and then they finally kind of made up before Harold Ramis passed away. And I felt like that was kind of like not a nod to it, but like that's kind of what it felt like. So that scene I remember just being super sad. But then I'm like, shit, they're coming then. They're going to come to help this kid.
Oh, yeah. You knew they were coming.
They're on the way. Like
you knew they were coming.
Right.
And which is great.
Which was great. And then you had, the dogs, right? They possessed Paul Rudd.
The Keymaster and the Gatekeeper.
Which I thought was funny as hell. He gave her the flower. She ate it. Then they did it.
It's pretty awesome,
dude. Did you know that J.K. Simmons was going to be in this film?
I had no idea.
Me neither.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't list half the characters until it premiered. Like J.K. Simmons wasn't listed. Olivia Wilde wasn't listed. By the way, if anybody noticed, Olivia Wilde was Gozer. Like.
Yeah, that was Jen. She was like, I think that's Olivia Wilde. And I'm like, who? And she pulled up her thing. I'm like, oh, that's who that is. And then it was great. When he was like, I waited all this time. I freed you finally. And she just like rips him in half. It was like a brief. It was so brief, man. It was hysterical. It was fucking funny, man.
Bill Murray had his conversation with her that we wanted to see, you know what I mean? With Gozer.
Yeah.
It's like they picked up where they left off. He was hitting on her regardless, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, fast forward, they came up with a great plan. They ran back to the farmhouse. Now everybody, kind of knows what's going on. What's going on, Rube Blunt? Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Yeah, J.K. Simmons surprised us too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit. And I thought it was like, he's still alive? Like, that whole scene in there was hysterical, but also nuts. Like, the way he set up the 4 proton packs to just push it back down every time. It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Best casting was Ruben Estable. And then Paul Rudd fucks it all up, of course.
Yeah, of course it does.
But dude, like, let's wind down to just like towards the end, right? Like they have this plan. They're gonna set up the trap in the field. There's like tons of ghost traps.
Yeah,
and it's this little Stay Puft start attacking friggin' podcasts, and he's zapping them with whatever zapper he has, and just doesn't work. And then boom, the guys show up. And you're like, oh shit, they're here finally. And I was just anticipating. I don't know about you, but I was just waiting for that. I'm like,
yeah, man, please. Like you knew, okay, there was gonna be a moment where the new cast was kind of getting their ass kicked, and then the dudes would just like appear, and we all knew that. It's not like it was some long shot in the dark. Like they were gonna appear at some point,
What's up, Rob? Yeah. And you're right. They're getting their asses kind of handed to them, and they show up. And comedy ensues. It's they still got it as far as like how funny and how they deliver, and Ray, being Ray. And I thought the part was super funny was when she was like, "Are you a god?" And they're like, "Oh no."
Everyone say no.
And then he says yes, and they're like, "Oh, thank God." Like,
yeah,
you know, let's see.
Oh,
I'm ready to
God.
shoot Ectoplasm Warriors next. Thank you, Rob. The best. The Walmart scene had me rolling. These to Stay Puft dudes were perfect for comedy. Yeah, I agree. It's marketable towards kids, but they're also little shits too, which was great.
Oh man, I read somewhere that okay, nobody. So I didn't know that was a dude in a costume. It was very much like in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the original
Right.
one. It was crazy. So they did it very much like how they used to shoot the old Godzilla movies.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like they just created models of New York, and the dude would just like stomp the shit out of it. New York. And they made 3 of those suits, and they each cost like $30,000 a piece or something.
Wow.
And they all got ruined.
Oh man, yeah. I thought that scene had me cracking up. If you don't remember Ghostbusters 1, she asks if they're gods, and Ray's like no, and she beats their ass. And Winston's like, next time anyone asks if you're a god, you say yes. He's just so pissed. So pissed. Ray did a lot of fucked up shit. CJ, you ever heard the Muppets?
No, what is it? I was just fully expecting that for Gozer to be like basically have them pick their demise again, like it was a Stay Puft last time. And I was like, man, are they gonna do like this giant like thing? Like,
no, but I wonder why that didn't happen. That's a great pickup.
I was curious. That was like the only thing. I was like, if this is going like how the rest of it's going, then Muppets on the edge.
Muppets on the edge. I loved how they set up the lore, explained why the years that separated the return of Gozer and stuff like that. And they put some actual historical history in there as well. But yeah, just seeing them together was great. They tried to cross the streams, but 3 wasn't enough, and they got kind of tossed around.
Yeah, you could just tell they're playing that off so well. But they're like, "Oh my god, we're so old. We shouldn't be doing this.
Like, why am I doing this right now?"
Yeah.
And then you have that scene. Gozer's shooting her lightning. Phoebe's shooting the proton pack, and then all of a sudden you see like a blue hand appear, and it's Egon. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you people watch Dragon Ball Z in here. There was a scene where Gohan was shooting his Kamehameha at Cell, and all of a sudden the spirit of his father shows up and helps him shoot the Kamehameha, and it's called the Father-Son Spirit Bomb or whatever. And basically they beat Cell. So this reminded me of that. And then as Ghost Egon showed up, the waterworks the waterworks showed up as well. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm 100% on there with you. I'm just catching up on these. Ghost Egon made me cry. Dude, Caleb, for real. Like, if you didn't cry during this movie, you're a fucking monster, and I don't want to be friends with you anyway. I had the unique opportunity. I don't have kids of my own. One of my really good friends, I don't know if he's watching or not. John, if you're watching, hello, man. Thanks for tuning in. He has 2 girls, and we were able to take them to the theater, and it was cool to see the kids' reactions to this movie.
Yeah.
And because kids are the most honest. You can read every critic ever, but if it doesn't pass a kid's expectation, don't fucking watch it.
Right.
Because they're not gonna bullshit with you. It'd be like, it was terrible.
They're gonna say this is good or this is bad, and I want to go home. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that part, they finally catch Gozer, they finally unleash the trap, and then he kind of gets moments with each people in his family, and you're like, and then he finally hugs his daughter. She realizes in the movie, like, he was watching her the whole time, and why he had to do what he had to do. No one believed him, but he had to do what he had to do in order to save the world. This is coming to a 9-day fiancé time. Listen.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna. We are 30 minutes in, so I'm gonna get ready to start doing raffle stuff here.
Yes. Before we continue, we're gonna be doing some raffles, guys. We're gonna be raffling off some prizes that CJ has graciously bought. TVO. I thought CJ really had the stuff next to him. I guess he left it in another room.
Sorry about that. All right.
All good.
So I'm going to ask everybody a question, and as soon as we get the right answer, we'll do the first draw. First question here. First question here. On the set, Dan Aykroyd referred to the Slimer ghost as the ghost of what great SNL alumni? I'll read again. On the set, Dan Aykroyd referred to the Slimer ghost as what ghost of the great SNL alumni?
Oh, Caleb got it.
Yes, sir. That is correct. All right. So you can take me off the 2 screen here. Robert Lopez.
That's my nickname for Rob, Slimer.
All right. So the first thing we're giving away to this evening is this reissue of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's pretty tight. Like, I'm so infatuated with the artwork of the old real Ghostbusters line.
Heck yeah.
All right. Let's see here. God, I really hope it's not Robert. Robert's gonna burn everything he wins.
He's gonna press it.
All right.
Are there any holes in it, CJ? Asking for a friend. Tell Russ yes.
Yes. All right. I think this is going to be backwards on my screen, but I think so. But it'll be all right.
Hold on. Let me highlight you. Solo.
Oh shit. All right. Raffle.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. It's like the wheel fucking Price is Right.
Yeah. Who's that? I don't know if I know this person. Ed Morello?
Let me see. I think that's Ed from the East chapter of Comic Book Kingdom. Yep, that's Ed from the East chapter.
Great. Sweet. He is the proud owner of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So if we want to message him later on, we can and let him know that he's a big winner on Mondo and Lagoon.
Winner chicken dinner.
All right. Should we do another one or?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's do it again. Let's give away one of these Ecto Ones.
Ooh.
Let's give away one of these Ecto Ones. All right.
To the treasure it goes.
That's nice. All right. Ghostbusters was the highest grossing comedy of all time until this 1990 Christmas classic featuring some wet bandits came to theaters. What movie? Again, Ghostbusters was the highest grossing comedy of all time until this 1990 Christmas classic featuring some wet bandits came to theaters.
Here we go. I think we have a winner, huh?
Yes. All right.
Beaver Butt Bandits.
All right, let's do this again. Nope. Brother, Brother Isaac is the proud
Brother Isaac,
winner.
he is another
of this glorious Ecto 1. He's probably not even watching. None of these guys actually watch our show. But he is a follower and he is a proud owner of one of these Ecto 1s. All right. If there's anybody that wants to come on and talk their Ghostbuster experience, I believe Rob, didn't you go and just see it recently? Oh, Rude Blunt did. Hey, Rude, you want to come on and talk about the movie? Or Eric?
Sorry, guys, y'all broke up. Rob said he's busy.
Oh, he used to watch that 90 Day Fiancé.
Let's see something here. Trying to get something.
Taking bets on who the next winner is. Just hit me up in my DMs. I'm taking cash bets.
Here it was. I got it right with you. There it is. Friendsgiving.
Who does that?
I'm surprised people still have those. Rublet does. after 90 days.
Robert, Jesus, man.
So yeah.
Right.
Come on, Eric. You're more than welcome. Just let me know. I'll send you a link. Yeah, dude. So I guess we should definitely talk about the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Scene.
So, like, which one do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the first one.
Okay.
The one with Bill
Ernie
Murray.
Hudson. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I gotta believe that those two are gonna be part of the future franchise. Because why leave Sigourney Weaver till the very end like that?
Right. Yeah. I agree.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I thought it was a great skit, a throwback to the first movie where they're doing the psychic test or whatever, and she keeps zapping them.
Basically, Bill was just doing it to hook up with chicks.
I thought that was a cute scene, but I definitely think, like you say, it's going to lead into something a bit more, maybe with both of them, maybe with their son, right? I don't know if we'll get the villain from 2. Fudge.
I think we get Dana's son from the second one.
I think we do get Dana's son for sure. What's up, Eric? Thanks for coming on.
There he is.
Vigo.
What's up, guys?
Like, I don't think we'll get Vigo, but I definitely think we're going to get something new.
I feel like her son is going to be like, have some special ability that he can, like, he's basically a PKE meter because he's had so much actual contact with like the ghosts or something. And just
does he do T-pose like whenever the ghosts are near?
Yeah, like, his arms just start lighting up and shit. He just does the crane pose every time he get close to fucking.
Hey, something's going on with him.
Man, he's acting up again.
I mean, the ghosts are around. I would love to see them come back and do something with them. We're talking about like Dan Aykroyd looking old and different. Yeah. The Sigourney Weaver just looks like the same. Like there's nothing's changed. He hasn't aged terribly.
No.
Bill Murray looks like he had a good life.
Bill Murray looks like he's been having fun.
That was great. Yeah. Paul Rudd's like the same age as those dudes. It was so weird.
which is so weird, right? Like he's in his 50s.
Yeah, no, the guy hasn't aged a day in his life.
But
he's looked the same as he did in Clueless.
That dude's definitely found the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second cutscene, which is a little bit more interesting for me.
Right.
We find out a lot. Go ahead, CJ.
Jimmy Nelnitz is totally the mom.
Yeah. I think it sets up and it basically just focuses on Ernie Hudson's character.
Right.
And if you don't know much about that storyline, is that originally Ernie Hudson's character was supposed to have this huge role and like backstory to his origin. And they cut it out because Eddie Murphy was supposed to be taking Ernie Hudson's role, and he backed out for Beverly Hills Cop. So the studio decided to cut his that character in like half, and Ernie Hudson was basically just a dude that was there.
Like, I mean, he wasn't even listed in like in the the VHSs. They had everyone's name, but they didn't have him.
Yeah, that'd be kind of. I mean, it would suck, He definitely had a bigger role in the second one, but
yeah,
he said that first time left a sour taste in his mouth,
no, for sure.
Because he was like, he was an actually classically trained like actor.
Like actor.
And all these guys are just like, SNL dudes that are just like, doing blow in the bathroom, and they're just like, yeah, come do this job, Ernie, and then we're gonna cut this role in half. So you're just gonna be here.
Like, pretty much, yeah.
Just ripping lines in the bathroom with Jim Belushi, and
yeah, exactly.
He definitely
was so weird because Jim Belushi was originally supposed to have Bill Murray's part.
Yeah, he was supposed to be back then.
Yeah. He was supposed to be in it, and it was supposed to not just be what it was. They were supposed to like fight demons.
Imagine how much of that movie I would have hated that movie. I would have absolutely hated that movie. Because,
I was thinking about the same, yeah.
Okay, so there's no Bill Murray. I was never a huge John Belushi fan. Like, he is what he is. Like, he's the Clyde Drexler of comedians. Like, he's a very important. He's in the Hall of Fame. Whatever. He's just not the dude. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Bill Murray. And
he doesn't have the same delivery.
Well, yeah, and then also Rick Moranis wasn't even going to be in the movie. The guy who was supposed to play that role, the Keymaster, was oh God, what's the guy's name from The Great Outdoors?
John Candy.
There you go.
That would have been such an interesting movie. John Candy is the Keymaster, and John Belushi as Peter Venkman.
They probably couldn't believe that. Somebody of his size would be able to do the hunched over
And the part was written for him.
Right. And they wrote the script specifically for certain people. Then it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy, John Candy was supposed to have a role, Belushi was supposed to have a role.
Yeah, because Aykroyd and John go way back,
That would have been such a weweird movie.
It would have been.
But they were supposed to go to space and shit and do all this shit.
It was so weird. They were.
Ian Reitman was like Ian Reitman and Harold was like, "Come here, I'm gonna take the script."
Yeah, if it wasn't for those two, this movie franchise probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it was. It'd probably been on the level of the movie Rad, the fucking BMX movie from the 80s. It'd probably been on that level.
I think it would have been a one and done. It wouldn't have had the following.
Yeah, there's no way the studio would have backed that anymore. They're just like,
you wouldn't have had the toys and the cartoons and all that. Then it would have been so they went to space to fight ghosts.
Yeah,
yeah. No,
that's very borderline Scientology.
It was definitely a weird script.
And if it's Scientology is watching it all, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all.
They have their own PK meters.
Tom Cruise. Hell yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, Winston became a billionaire worldwide company. We don't know what he does. We don't know what his business is. But
I want to say he's a mining company.
You think so?
He's a bad guy now. And he like
Evil
wanted them to win, but he's like, shit, got to keep up with appearances.
Right. So he talks about I'm always going to be a Ghostbuster first or whatever.
Right.
And then you see him, and then they say in the firehouse. He was a sex appeal, and he said he's like, Ray was the heart, Egon was the brain, and Beckman was just there.
Yeah.
He was the cool guy.
They definitely. If you watched it, right, Eric, you went and saw it recently. You saw it twice, so they are definitely doing sequels. Well,
100%. Even if they don't, it ended perfectly where it was just like, you don't need any more.
I'm hearing
done.
Everything's the next one is supposed to be Ghostbusters 3. That's what I'm hearing.
Here's the thing,
3, but you're also going to get an animated feature.
Mm-hmm. Based off the real Ghostbusters, no?
Correct. Now, I don't know if this is going to fill up the gap of time between I don't know what the timeline is, right? So you had Ghostbusters 84, then you had the second Ghostbusters. Then the video game falls in between what timeline? I'm not sure.
That was
90. If they acknowledge that in this timeline,
right? If they acknowledge it, and then you have 10 years that Egon was gone.
Right, but this was, if we remember, the third or the video game installment. Dan Aykroyd said that was Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be like the movie Halloween, where they're going to neglect that and just continue on with what's happening. Because technically, Ghostbusters Afterlife was Ghostbusters 3.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see what.
Yeah, they took the script for Ghostbusters 3, made the video game, because that's what the new movie was supposed to be. It was a new group, this new guy coming in, and then kind of like, all right, we're old here, take the franchise, we're out of here, we're just going to stand back and make money from it.
Right.
And
I think in the animated, what is the new Ghostbusters, Dream Ghostbusters, Egon was kind of like the
teacher,
the
professor.
mentor. Yeah, like the guy who
he was the Miyagi of the group.
Bingo.
And he had a ponytail, and it was weird. It was cool.
It was weird, right? It was like Saved by the Bell, college
wheelchair kid, and then it was basically the BK kids meet Egon.
Right. Now I don't know if that's where this is going. Do you guys think the kids are going to be in the new film?
I think they're in it maybe later on, but I definitely think Paul Rudd is going to be. I definitely think we're going to get Dana's first son. I think but so I think so. Ernie Hudson basically, they're giving him the franchise now.
Yeah. Because
of how they, it left a bad taste in his mouth with everything. So now he's going to be like the front runner for everything. He bought the firehouse. He brought the Ecto-1 home. And then he's like, I'm always going to be a Ghostbuster, And then we see the containment unit with the power with switch going off, indicating something bad was going to happen.
A malfunction. So
yeah. So
that's where Slimer is, by the way, for sure.
Definitely getting another, at least one or two Ghostbuster things
in New York, and that's
in New York. Yeah, in New York.
Hell yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back to New York. And you're right.
Who would you guys want to see? Who else would you want to see? Maybe with Paul Rudd or
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
100% Kevin Hart.
I was gonna say, are we going all adults? Or are we gonna do a mix where they'll still have Phoebe?
I think they do it. I think they do it old school and bring in the adults again.
Yeah, I think Phoebe might be who replaces, because Ray's gonna need help with the tech shit, and I think
but she's still a kid, so he's probably gonna want her to go through school and shit first.
I think so, but that depends how many years the next one takes place. They're 15 now, so let's say next 3 years we get one. She's probably in college.
Maybe she comes and helps out the Ghostbusters during summer break. I don't know,
a liaison or something. Right?
Yeah. But so
she Skypes them.
You think Kevin Hart? Really?
I want Kevin Hart. I don't know. I just like Kevin Hart. I want The Rock too.
Kevin Hart?
Give me The Rock.
No, don't you dare! I'll
give me The Rock. Give me Vin Diesel.
And there's nothing wrong with Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart.
Do you think it would be a
comedian? Terrible for that role.
He's little. I don't think he'll do. I just like
Little.
Kevin Hart.
Well, no,
who do
because
you
Kevin
think?
Hart, he has no diversity in his acting at all. He's just Kevin Hart.
Just
Sweet
allowed.
Father's Day was pretty good.
Stop it.
It was. You watched it?
Oh man, I don't want to talk to you anymore right now.
It was really good. It was really good.
No,
I liked
man.
it.
So okay, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, you and that's fine.
I thought it was great. It was comedy, but it was also sad.
Who else would you want to see?
I don't know.
I actually think
You-
Josh Gad, even though Josh Gad was Muncher, I think Josh Gad would be a good fit.
Remind me who Josh Gad is.
That is the dude who played Gaston in The Beauty and the Beast, right?
Not Gaston. Gaston's little
I mean Gaston,
his little sidekick.
little friend. What else did he do?
Oh, he was in The Rocker.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I know nothing that he's been
I know
in.
who you're talking about. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Trying to think. That's a great question. I think they'll have a woman in the team this time.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I don't know.
That's why I was thinking they might keep Phoebe just because instead of having to try to cast somebody to fit, she's already there. She has all the mannerisms. She has the middle finger pushing the glasses up all the time.
Yeah.
And like all the awkward jokes. What do you call a fish without eyes? Fish.
That'd be cool.
Finn Wolfhard probably would come back. Whatever that kid's name is. Is it Finn Wolfhard?
Yeah, but like you guys said before, I mean, he filled the role of Ray, the mechanic, while him and Zedmore both, just the mechanics, and then Phoebe was the role of Egon, and then I mean, really, Podcast I think could fill the role of Venkman if needed.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it was cool that we had kids in this one, but it's not really sustainable because they're kids.
Right. I mean,
Like,
adults.
I think you have to bring more adult roles into it until these kids grow up, because I mean, it doesn't make sense for kids to take over this, like, these nuclear packs. Like,
dangerous stuff.
Things got to be insured at some point, man. We got to treat this like business. There's got to be people got to get 401ks.
There's no way
you know?
that Finn kid can drive around New York City.
Exactly. Yeah.
So adults, right? Paul Rudd is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Paul Rudd's perfect for that role.
I think he's set.
I think a Conan O'Brien would be fucking
You
awesome.
think so?
And hear me out, because I think he can play like kind of. You throw some glasses on that dude, and I think he would be. He can play serious.
Yeah, but isn't he like 60 at this point?
Yeah, but he's one of those dudes that hasn't aged either, man.
Yes, he has. Oh God, yes, he has. Have you seen him?
No, I don't think so. Don't ruin it for me.
Don't like
Zac Efron.
Nah.
Pretending.
What about Jimmy Fallon?
No, God, no.
He would ruin every movie.
Zac
He would laugh. They'll never get to finish the movie done. He'd laugh at every scene.
He'll always be looking at the camera, just laughing like
Breaking camera.
If you guys want like a badass dude, we should just have like Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah,
If we can do some comedy.
He could just be the dude. He could be the mechanic guy.
and Zac Efron, I could actually see him being in that because he does good comedy stuff.
What do you think about like Seth Rogen or who's the other dude?
No, Seth Rogen.
He was fat, then he was skinny again.
Jonah Hill? No.
Jonah Hill. You don't think Jonah Hill?
None of those guys. I don't want to see any of those guys.
Because they said they wanted handsome people. Was it that actor said they wanted more handsome people to play the new Ghostbusters? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. When I'm like, oh, Zac Efron. It has to be.
Yeah, no,
like,
that'd be cool.
Damn, there's so many. Fuck it, just bring back Chris Evans. Let him do everything.
Okay, Chris Evans would be fucking perfect, though. I'd totally be all right with him being a Ghostbuster, man. Because you would like cry in every scene ever because you deliver like a heartfelt speech, and you're like
a good speech before they kill Ghost.
You're like, yeah, I'll never do drugs.
What about John Krasinski?
Yes, actually, yeah, he's perfect. Him and Paul Rudd together would be amazing.
Comedy gold.
Yeah.
I think that should be really funny.
Yeah, that would be good. Krasinski, a good choice.
Krasinski, Paul Rudd, and
Josh Gad, yay or nay?
I don't know. I would be all right with it. I just don't see him as a Ghostbuster, though. I don't know.
Damn, this is a hard question.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you think about it, the guys they wanted to pick before, right? Like when they were coming back to do the third one, they were going to pick Ben Stiller, they were going to pick Chris Farley, and Chris Rock. Those were the first three that Dan Aykroyd mentioned. Yeah, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, and Chris Farley.
So Chris Farley would have been like running through walls.
It would have Tommy Boy Goes to New York. Like that's all it would have been. Like like I love those classic movies, but like it just that's another reason why I don't think. I don't know, man. He has like no diversity with acting. It was just been Chris Farley does Ghostbusters.
Chris Farley is a Ghostbuster.
Yeah. Like you watch those movies because he acts the way he acts.
Yeah, you give him a wheelbarrow of cocaine, and you're just like, all right.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Kevin Hart. Like you get Kevin Hart it's like that. What is that? Rob Schneider is in Rob Schneider starring Rob Schneider. That's exactly what it is
from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Man, who else? This shit's hard.
I don't know. You guys want to do another giveaway? So fuck this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fuck it.
All right. So next thing we're gonna give away this Ghost Stopper thing.
Ghost Stopper.
Dude, I wanted this thing so bad when I was a kid. I remember it very vividly. Like I had the proton pack and stuff, but this I remember seeing it at a Walmart, and it was like $12 or something. And I remember my mom would be like, "That's too much money." I was like, "It's $12." And we came back, and I never got it. But now I'm gonna give it away. It's out here giving away my childhood.
I was never cool enough to have a proton pack. I had the PKE meter.
Yeah,
I had to.
But like we were talking, we had the traps, but like we broke them so quickly because you'd stomp the shit out of them. Yeah. And it would just like blow up the trap.
Yeah, and like the pedal would break. You just have like the trap, but no pedal to go with it. Just, like, open.
All right.
Catch a ghost.
Okay. So the winner of the Ghost Stopper. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Primordial Paul.
Oh, Paul. Paul's a good dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. Primordial Paul. South Chapter.
South Chapter. Well, Paul, you're the proud owner of a Ghost Stopper. It's pretty sweet. I might delete this episode and just keep everything, to be honest with you.
You know who I can't wait to see? Gigi Haddish.
Oh.
Tiffany Haddish as a Ghostbuster. What's going to happen? What's going to happen, CJ?
I swear to God.
Did you ever see Answer the Call? Ghostbusters Answer the Call?
No.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch
that
it
like,
and let you know what I think
that?
about it. That's the one with the all-female cast.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to watch that.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to discuss it next week.
And it has nothing to do with them being women at all, by the way.
No.
It's just very poorly done.
It's just terribly done.
I don't understand why you need to change such iconic things. Like, if you want to make the cast all female, cool. I'm cool with that. But why'd you fuck with, like, the Ecto one and, like, the all that stuff? Like, why? Just keep it the same.
The original cast wasn't actually their counterparts from the first movies. Just...
Yeah. Did you watch it, Eric?
No. I refuse to.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it just for science.
Science.
I'm gonna see.
Chris had to watch it. It's gonna be like the Ark of the Covenant, just like your face.
I just saw the runtime is 2 hours. So I'm gonna spend 2 hours of my life.
It's long enough to hate yourself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after I'm done.
Chris Hemsworth's the only saving factor in that movie, and he's just eye candy.
I do know Dan Aykroyd has a cameo. So does Bill.
But I mean,
that's probably the only two good parts.
You can pay people enough money to do whatever, though. You know?
Yeah, they try.
And they're not in there as themselves.
Yeah, no, there's something else.
Rob hasn't seen Ghostbusters. I don't think
nobody
Rob goes
cares.
To the movies. Rob doesn't go to the movies.
You're a terrible person, Rob.
The last time Rob went to the movies was to see Jurassic Park in the 90s.
I saw that in the theater.
I did too.
Like the original one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Rob is like fucking 47 years old, by the way.
He was there getting a handy in the back. Like, meanwhile, Juan and I are up front with our parents, like, cool dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are so cool. Did you see that new? That's a straight too far away. But did you see that Dominion trailer? Ghostbusters Dominion. Yeah, it's. I guess it serves as a bridge between the last movie and the new movie, where they bring back everyone from Jurassic Park 1.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. And then they're teasing like a Fast and Furious crossover with dinosaurs. It's about time. It's really about time.
Are you serious?
Family.
Are you serious?
I'm don't dead ass B.
No, you're not. Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, hold on.
They're doing a Fast and Furious Jurassic Park crossover?
Oh wait, CJ, if this is our segue into Dino Riders, I'm all for it.
No, I can't do the thing right now.
If it's a segue into Dino Riders, come on. They're the coolest toys ever.
I don't want to see Vin Diesel fucking headbutting dinosaurs.
Family.
Family. How many strokes do you think Vin Diesel has had in his life?
Too many. Family. That's all he can say anymore. Is just
he's just talking out the side of his mouth, man. Family. Sorry, fucking James is probably watching this, like jerking off because we're talking about Vin Diesel and dinosaurs together.
Family.
Dinosaurs.
Like I said,
I want to see
Dino Riders. I'm okay.
I want to see Vin Diesel jumping over like a T-Rex.
Dude, you're so full of shit. There's no way that's real.
Yeah.
You would have already found it right now if that was.
I already did. I'm reading it right now. He said, I never said no to anything. And the fact that part of philosophy is to never ever be boxed in or labeled, and that's all I will say. So that they're teasing it. It's gonna happen. Probably.
Who is this?
2 or 3 years.
Are you just reading a fucking meme? Like, what are you doing?
This is real. This is what the director said.
Put it on screen.
Yeah. But you don't believe me.
I don't believe you. It's not real, man. It's such a terrible thing.
It's a subreddit of James.
Like
he talks about like movies he wants.
Oh, it's not okay. Crossover possibility. It's never gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, bro.
No, man.
They already went to space. Now they're gonna go to Jurassic World.
I'd rather see an MCU crossover where fucking like Hulk just starts beating the shit out of a T-Rex.
Like Vin Diesel and a Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6 outrunning a Velociraptor with great velocity.
There's no way that dude was writing that and not laughing the entire time.
This franchise is fucked.
Dude, this shit was fucked like since the second one, since Tokyo Drift.
You're telling me like this is gonna happen. Like, Chris Pratt's all down for it.
Of course he is. He's like, oh,
hey man, that's what the audience wants, I'm in. He's in it. We're ready. Confirmed.
Yeah, he's just like, give me my $25 million paycheck. Thank you.
Yeah, no shit. He's like, I'm talking about this. They're definitely not going to take it in that direction if they're bringing back like all original cast for everything from the past movies. So? Yeah. I don't like the fact that
I can't wait. I can't wait. We're here 2 years from now talking about Jurassic World. Fast and Furious. It's gonna be called. We're
never
Furious
talking
World.
about it. I don't care if it becomes a real thing.
It's gonna come. We're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it live with James.
I'll be so angry.
You're gonna say,
I'm
gonna clip this. I'm gonna clip this part of the show, and I'm gonna play it back.
The Jurassic and the Furious.
Jurassic and the Furious is a good name.
The Jurassic.
The Furious World. Jurassic Fast. Jurassic Fast. I love it.
I like that one, Jurassic Fast.
Did you ever hear like the Jurassic World they were trying to make where they bred velociraptors, much like the movie with Chris Pratt, and they gave them all names, and then they attached like rockets to them for like to fight in the army. This was a real thing, CJ.
You broke them.
This is a real thing. Let's see. Jurassic.
Dude, stop pulling up these random fucking websites from
This
like
was a real
97.
thing. Unmade movie.
It's like these blogs from 97 that were like, man,
CJ,
what if they touched
Here it is.
having a
Oh,
fucking
here it
Vin
is.
Diesel stroke
Since
right
you
now.
don't
He's
believe
just
me,
like, "Fair,
this is from BBC. This was a real thing. It never got made. Wrote a half crazed, half brilliant screenplay for Jurassic World. Let's see. It would be a team of genetically modified, crime-busting dinosaurs.
crime busting. Busting
Maxie.
feel good.
Let's see.
I'm a raptor, see?
Uh,
All these fucking raptors wearing like trench coats and fucking like.
And
It
one
was-
of them you have to have is the wild card.
Oh yeah,
You never know what he's gonna do.
dude, it was like
he's
they
a
could talk and shit.
triceratops or some shit.
This is from Screen Rants. See, this.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? What am we watching? What are we looking at?
What is with the arms on the second one? Look at that. It's like
Are
See
they
how
like
there was some
crossbreed-
cultural
are they
elements
Are they cross
Included.
like, breeding these with like, human genes or something?
trained by humans to take on drug dealers and genetically engineered gun-toting human dinosaur hybrid mercenaries.
dude, we almost had a brute force movie.
I'm telling you. They're just leaving money on the table at this point.
Are they now? Are
You would
they
watch it.
now?
You would watch this Jurassic Park. It was with Fast and Furious. That makes sense, right? Give the dinosaur guns. It's like a Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Give the
Dino-
dinosaurs. Did you just say give the dinosaurs gun?
Give them guns. That's it. You never played Cadillacs and dinosaurs?
You know that moment
That's the
when you
same
like.
thing.
You know that moment where you realize you don't know your co-host at all. Like you're like, oh man, this guy's awesome. I love this dude. I respect everything he says, and then he starts talking. He just goes wild.
The only reason I
I
said
don't
this
know if I
is
want to do
said
the show
this,
anymore.
you said this wasn't a real thing. I showed you like
It's
this was
fucking-
going to
dude.
this was going to be a real thing, bro. I didn't write the script. This is just what it was going to be.
Family.
I feel like Dad
Genetically
just,
altered velociraptors fighting drug dealers.
Yeah, but you're
I feel
fully
like Daddy
supporting
just slapped
it.
him on
You're
at the
like,
dinner
they're
table.
leaving a lot of money on the table, and you're just really like out of all the projects we
And it
want
could-
to
it
see
could- it could
happen.
star
you're
Kevin
like,
Hart.
that's the one.
Kevin Hart could
That's
be
the
the
one
lead.
that gets. Huh?
Kevin Hart could be the lead.
Fucking stop. Stop it. How dare you?
Kevin
I feel
Hart,
like
Josh
you just say
Gad.
things.
That's it.
So is the title for this going to be the last episode of Goon?
We won't be here next week, folks.
We're taking another sabbatical. We'll see you in March of 2022.
Right before Jurassic Furious debuts on the big screen.
God damn it. I'll be at the premiere with bells on. Kevin Hart.
Dude, we should definitely do a show one day of like rejected movie ideas.
Oh,
And there's
man.
a lot out there.
There's some doozies out there.
There is a lot out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I think some of the stuff with like Ghostbusters is interesting enough, right? Like the original, the Bill Murray didn't want anything to do with it. He just wanted to die, and they were gonna kill him off in Ghostbusters 3, and
Yep.
they were gonna go to a place called Hell Haunted, like it's like Manhattan but in hell, and everything's like like upside down. It's fucking
It's the
ridiculous.
upside down.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
Cool.
Overall, I give the movie a 9 out of 10.
Hard 9 for sure.
For
Easily.
sure. Don't listen to the folks that are bitching.
I don't listen to
online.
critics. Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will not listen to a guy give a bad review on mac and cheese because it's fucking mac and cheese. I don't care how terrible the quality of the cheese is. It's still mac and cheese. It's delicious.
I'll tell you.
Don't
once
let people
the movie
fucking-
finish. This is how I know. I think like you were saying too when your friend bought like his daughters or whatever.
Yeah.
The Ghostbusters theme was playing. There was kids singing it.
Yeah, dude.
Young kids like hype as shit. I'm like, this
Hey,
is it.
did you guys,
This is what it's
did
supposed
you
to
guys
be.
clap when the original Ghostbusters came back on?
I did. I was like, woo.
I did clap, but I did like
Our theater, yeah, everybody clapped. It was super cool.
I just like the off-screen like. Did you miss us?
I
Yeah.
was like, it did. Yes,
They
yes,
were.
I did. And then I cried like, ah. I looked at my wife. My wife has no emotional attachment to this movie. Like, I think she first started watching it when we got together.
I'm slowly discovering that your wife is a bit of a badass and has no feelings whatsoever.
Yeah,
She told me she had like an unpunched like figure on card and she like punched it out.
dude, I got my Mondo Gecko. I told her to take a look at it, and then she's like, "Do you want me to punch it?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, sure, don't you do that?
Don't do it, please don't. She's like, you want me to punch it? I'm like, no, please.
Like, and then she was like, "Why is everybody crying over this ghost guy?"
No, and then she told me, she's like, I could see, like, she's like, I got a little emotional. Like, I could see why people love this franchise as much as they do, right? Like, it's like my wife loves Harry Potter. I can see why people adore that movie.
Sure.
Because when characters are written well and when the story's written well, it touches a part of you, and I think that's what Ghostbusters did for a lot of us, especially like seeing grown men cry in the theater. I think the guy next to me was crying. It was just like emotional the whole time. I'm saying that this is gonna be, and it felt like when he kind of faded away, like we all kind of got to say goodbye,
and hello again. But like, you know what I mean? It's a new beginning, and I think that's great. Like I said, I know there's going to be more. It's there's too much left on the table. You even left it open. You didn't even have to do all that. You left it open because you want to make more movies. That's why you left it open.
Well, they as Ghost Corps, they're like a subsidiary, like
I think company. That's like basically what it was in Extreme Ghostbusters, where Egon was the teacher. Was
right,
the
but
Ghost Corps.
It's the Ghost Corps, but I felt like you saw that early in the beginning of the movie. Like you saw like whoever made the film, and then it said Ghost Corps. Where I felt
that's also
like,
their like film.
I felt like it was a film. Like this is the brand.
Company.
Yeah, this is the brand.
Yeah, it's been like that since like the second one, I think.
Yeah, I think that.
And on the video game, it's got Ghost Corps on it too.
See, I'm thinking that's what they'll carry. That.
I think that's Dan Aykroyd's LLC. To be honest with you.
Really.
That dude's got hands and everything.
Yeah.
That dude's smart, man.
That's his production company for sure.
Question: are you guys gonna feel the same way when Indiana Jones 6 comes out?
There's gonna be another one of those fucking things.
There is.
I love Indiana Jones.
Yep.
The Crystal Skull was fucking doo-doo, bro.
Still haven't watched
it. It was the most doo-doo that a Kevin Hart movie can be.
That's the one. That's the one with
Shia LaBeouf.
I don't even mind Shia LaBeouf. I don't mind him. The whole aliens thing kind of fucking. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, it kind of takes it out of the hands of like archaeology.
But it doesn't. At the same time, something about that movie just rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, it's the mysticism too, because they had the Ark of the Covenant. They had the chalice, the
Holy Grail.
Yeah, the Holy Grail. Thank you. Like
they had those stones too. Yeah,
mystical items, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here, aliens.
Well, you also had what was it? The you said the Ark of the Covenant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so there was like religious shit. I don't know, just something about that movie was just it felt phony. Like Indiana Jones is too old to be Indiana Jones anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
which is like when they're like, "Oh, we're in production." I'm like, "What are you gonna do? Sit in a chair and tell us a story of someone else is gonna?" I don't know.
Also, that kind of leads me to did you guys see that Tom Holland is gonna be the dude from Uncharted?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think he fits that role at all.
Not really.
No, I was hoping for what's his name? The dude from Firefly.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. Did you ever see his fan film?
He'd be a good Ghostbuster.
You ever seen his fan film where he did a Drake fan film?
Really?
It's on YouTube. It's really, really good. And I'm like, damn, this was years before they even mentioned the movie being made. He wanted to do it. And unfortunately, they didn't pick it up in time. Seeing Mark Wahlberg as Sully, I was I was
hoping for somebody like Chris Pratt to take over the Uncharted like franchise or something.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
That'd be
Kevin Hart could have done it.
Stop. What you say right now. You're going to. It's the day after Christmas, or not Christmas, Thanksgiving. And you're putting me in a bad mood. I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's like, oh man, but Chris Pratt is good. He could have done it.
Definitely better than Kevin Hart. Say it.
I don't know.
You know what? To put myself in a better mood, let's give away this last Ecto one. I'm tired of dealing with you, pal. All right.
Do you guys hear the Jeopardy music? Yes.
All right. Let's do this thing. For the last Ecto one, I want to first thank everybody that tuned in or is going to watch this in the future. Thanks.
Thanks.
Raffle.
Sandy.
And the winner is
me.
What?
Al Wolf Madison.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
I haven't even seen Al.
None of those dudes watch our show.
But you know who does?
But they do. They have subscribed to us, and I feel, you know what, Kill Your Hero, you fucking message us, say your address, man, and we're gonna send you something out too.
All right, whatever.
Fuck you, then, man. You want shit.
I feel like
fucking Kevin Hart fucking DVD. How about that?
I'll take it.
Burn that fucking thing.
Juan will take all kinds of pictures with that. I'll like get in bed with it and like pose with it. Like,
I'll take it for sure, 100%.
I thank you for that, but it was kind of like I just wanted to get on here and talk.
Oh, well, you got some other stuff. I'm just not gonna raffle it off.
So wait,
actually, we do have one more thing to raffle off.
Are you in a good mood or a bad mood? I can't tell.
Rob said, "Is he choplifter?"
You're watching 90 Days.
Yeah, dude. You're still. Oh, fuck you. This is my response to like cue the Jason thing. That's my response to this.
Where is it?
This is my response to Kevin Hart being in any movie ever.
That's Kevin Hart right here.
Yep, Kevin Hart. That's me. Dude. His head goes. His head goes rolling so far. Oh, that's great. Oh, we are. What was the last thing? Oh, the last thing we're raffling off. We are giving away the Ghostbusters video game.
Yes, your choice of system.
Yep, your choice of system. We'll buy it for you, and we will send it out to you. So let's do that one.
That's a fun ass game.
Yeah, I just started reading it again. Remastered so much better than the original.
Yeah.
Holy
100%.
shit.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I played that twice, I think.
Again, thanks for watching, everyone.
It's me.
Raffle family.
Whoa, Paul.
I'm ready, Paul.
Oh, he already won, didn't he?
Yeah, you can spin again.
We're gonna redo that again. Okay. 150 names in here. Oh,
Pedro.
Oh,
Pedro plays video games.
Jose. Okay.
Jose. Okay.
Jose.
Nice.
I always read his name as Pet Pedo Parker or Parker. Pedo Parker.
Oh, this is how they look like. They look. Winston looks great.
Winston looks great, man.
Winston looks like a hot toy.
Like Dan Aykroyd looks in that first one.
Leave that alone. Rob said this is rigged.
Oh
man,
you're in there, man.
Is he even paying attention? I mean, I thought he was watching.
No, he's watching some fucking stupid thing. He just wants to hear the one word he came for. We're not going to give it to you. We're not pandering to this.
We're not giving it to you.
We don't care if you're the only person that watches. We ain't saying it. This is in the low grades. Oh, shout out to the low grades, though. You guys are awesome, except for Robert.
The other guy
surfing and Bruce Wayne are fucking super dope. Robert's a piece of shit. I take Robert as the fucking person who eats the middle of the pie first. Like he's that piece of shit.
He definitely double dips his chip too.
Oh, dude, he definitely pulls his pants all the way down to pee. He's that kid that you walked in elementary school and his ass cheeks just hanging out at the fucking urinal. It's like, come on, man. Or he's like, you guys remember the movie Kingpin?
Yeah.
He's shitting in the urinal. he's like, he's reading the newspaper. He's like, give me credit. I can figure out some things on my own. And he's just shitting in the urinal. That's Robert.
I need to go watch that movie now. I haven't seen that movie forever.
It's so good. I watched it not that long ago. Woody Harrelson is fantastic in that movie. That's another guy that hasn't aged at all.
Rob said, "Are we done it?" Yeah, we're
get the fuck out of here, man.
We already talked about Ghostbusters. We talked about Jurassic, Fast and Furious,
with fucking rockets,
with rocket dinosaurs.
Yes,
I think we hit it. All of our points tonight here. Yeah. Well, I had a fun talk.
I did too, man. I had a blast.
Eric, thank you for coming on. Everybody, give your social media out there so that people know where to find you.
Yeah, and everybody that's won tonight, be sure to DM the Mondo Lagoon page with your addresses so that we can get those prizes shipped out to you.
Yes, please.
Hey.
Eric, where can the people find you? Kill Your Hero on Instagram. I am the Retro Goon in IG, and CJ is Mondo Kiko.
Yeah.
And our page is Mondo Lagoon on Instagram. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And next week we'll come by with more Kevin Hart and Fast and Furious news. I'll have some updates on that movie. That's definitely coming out. CJ may or may not be here.
James is going to take my place next week.
Did you see James's shirt?
Which one?
The Vin Diesel shirt. It's just Vin Diesel.
A bunch of Vin Diesels?
A bunch of Vin Diesels.
What? Yeah. It's that button-down shirt he got a while back. It's fucking limited edition dad shirt that just has Vin Diesel all over it. It says family or some shit.
Oh, man.
I have to go look now.
I appreciate all you guys coming on and chatting. Eric, thank you so much for coming on and chatting.
No problem.
Just stay on the line because after we're done here, we're going to take a thumbnail photo for this week's episode.
Yeah.
Last week's thumbnail was a hit.
It was pretty awful.
Exactly. I have a V chat with Remy in 5 who's been this long.
fucking Rob over here just stirring the shit out of the pot, man. Just fucking stirring.
That's what Rob's good for, man. That's what you do. All right, guys. Thank you so much on behalf of CJ and Eric. We'll check you out next week on the show. Same time, 10 o'clock. And with that said, we'll see you then. Peace.
They left.